Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I am your host, Doug, here with your video blog for April 23rd, 2014. Another great episode from Doug's Sports Blog and Grill. I got a lot of good stuff for you today. I'm going to be having my NFL draft picks 6 through 10. We'll go inside some MLB action as there were some big-time performances last night. Also, we'll do our New York sports update as that's going to be a lot of fun. But first, I want to get to the NBA playoff update. NBA playoffs, we saw a lot of Game 2s over the last 2 days. We'll finish up with Game 2s tonight. The first Game 2 that we saw back on Monday night, Memphis versus OKC. The Memphis Grizzlies really slowed down the pushing attack of the Thunder. They made some big shots late. Durant did hit that ridiculous 4-point play, but still it was not enough as the Grizzlies show that they can get it done, and they win that game 111-105 in overtime. That was a big win for the Memphis Grizzlies as they're trying to get back into that series. It's going to be interesting to see what happens down the stretch with this series and who can possibly come out on top, as this could be a big-time series, and it's going to all have to do with who takes more shots, Westbrook or Durant. In the second game of that night, we had the Warriors and the Clippers, and the Clippers ran roughshod over them. Steph Curry was okay. Klay Thompson didn't shoot well, and the Clippers...
It's more than the driver.
Sorry about
It's
that.
more than the car. For Lotus F1 team, the winning...
Sorry about that. Clippers blow out the Warriors 138-98. Blake Griffin with 32 and a 40-point win. That series is tied up at 1-1 as well. Hawks and the Pacers, a lot of people said Pacers lose. Their series and season is over. I did agree, but I think we have to remember the Hawks still finished 8 games under 500. Hawks struggled late in that game, couldn't hit shots. Pacers, Paul George played well. Pacers win 101-85. That series is tied up at 1-1. A really good game last night, Raptors and Nets. This one went back and forth. Paul Pierce kind of struggled down the stretch. The big-time clutch player last night was DeMar DeRozan, as he was out of his mind. DeMar DeRozan finished with 30 points, played well down the stretch, and the Raptors tie up their series at 1 game apiece with a 195 win over the Nets. And finally, Wizards and Bulls go to overtime. Bradley Beal with 27 points leads the Wizards to the win over the Bulls 101-99. Wizards up 2-0 going home. I think this series is about over. Wizards are looking to advance on. Tonight we'll finish up our Game 2s. Bobcats Heat at 7. I got the Heat in that one. Mavericks Spurs at 8. I'll take the Spurs. And Trailblazers Rockets at 9:30. I'll take the Rockets to get that series back to 1-1. Alright, as I said, we're going to be breaking down NFL draft stuff all throughout the next couple of weeks, as we are just about 15 days, 2 weeks away. 2 weeks from tomorrow is the NFL draft, so we're going to be breaking down the first round for you all throughout the next couple of weeks. And now we're on to our 6 through 10 picks. At the 6th pick is the Atlanta Falcons. I have the Falcons taking the offensive tackle Greg Robinson out of Auburn, probably the best offensive tackle in this draft, and I think he's going to have a major impact. Falcons need to start to rebuild that offensive line. They'll go Greg Robinson at number 6. Number 7, Tampa Bay Bucks. I think they could go quarterback, could go wide receiver. Ultimately, I think they stick with Mike Glennon. They will take the second Texas A&M player drafted in the top 10 right here at offensive tackle, Jake Matthews. Okay, we'll see another quarterback go, I believe, at number 8. Minnesota Vikings need a quarterback for sure. Christian Ponder is not the answer. I think they go Teddy Bridgewater. Won't have to throw as much with Adrian Peterson, so I like Bridgewater to go at number 8 as our third quarterback off our board. Buffalo Bills at number 9. Interesting pick. I think they like what they have with E.J. Manuel. Their defense was a lot better last year. I think if they get one more weapon for E.J. Manuel, he could have a big impact next year. I'm taking my third Texas A&M player in the top 10 here, wide receiver Mike Evans, and the second wide receiver off the board. And finally, at number 10, the Detroit Lions. They need to get a little bit better defensively. We saw them go with Ziggy Ansah last year in the first round. I think this year in the first round, they go with the inside linebacker, C.J. Mosley. Also can drop into some coverage and play some cornerback. I like C.J. Mosley at number 10 out of Alabama. So I'll keep breaking down the draft for you. I'm going to be going picks 11 through 15 on Friday. Hope you tune in for that. It's going to be great. But now it's time to transition to some Major League Baseball action. And the first thing I want to get to is the suspensions have been sent down by Major League Baseball to the Brewers and the Pirates. And they are as follows. Martin Maldonado, the guy coming in throwing punches, the backup catcher, he's going to get 5 games. Carlos Gomez, all these will appeal, I do believe. Carlos Gomez from Milwaukee, he's going to get 3 games. Travis Snyder, who got beat up by Maldonado, he's going to get 2 games. And Russell Martin will get 1 game. I'm surprised they didn't do anything with Garrett Cole because he was jawing. I would have suspended Cole for 5 games because that makes him miss a start. I guess they didn't feel that way, but it's interesting to see what will happen with these suspensions if they're held up. But overall, I think they did well with the suspensions for sure. All right, we had some Major League Baseball history last night. Albert Pujols joins the 500 home run hit club, 500 home run club. He hit 2 homers last night. He's now the 26th player to reach this milestone at 34 years old. He's the 3rd youngest player to reach it behind A-Rod and Jimmy Fox. I think it was bigger than just hitting the 500 home runs. Pujols has been on a tear. He's healthy finally. Maybe he can still make this contract worth it for the Angels. And I like what he's doing with the ball. I like him hitting the ball better. He's finally healthy. And I think Pujols could have a major impact on this Angels roster this year. If they can get Josh Hamilton to hit too, once he gets back from his injury, they're going to be a tough team to compete with because they have a decent pitching staff. If they can figure out their bullpen, they will be okay. Just a notable performance last night. The young man Jose Fernandez keeps it rolling for the Miami Marlins. He's now 3-1, 1.99 ERA. They beat the Atlanta Braves last night 1-0. Listen to this line. Jose Fernandez, 8 innings, 3 hits, 14 strikeouts. A dominant performance in a 1-0 game. He pitched in a tight game. He won a tight game. And I like Jose Fernandez possibly to emerge with Clayton Kershaw down as the best pitcher in the National League. All right, time for finishing up here with your New York sports update. Last night, the Yankees won 9-3. They are now 5-1 against the Red Sox this year. They have a 1-game lead over Toronto, who also won last night. Jacoby Ellsbury, in his return, went 2 for 5, hit that triple his first time up, then doubled in 2 later on in the day. Tanaka, once again, pitched well, gave up 2 runs over 7 innings, struck out 7. He's now 3-0 with a 2.15. And the good news for the Yankees is they get David Robertson back as their closer. Yankees and Red Sox go back at it again tonight. We'll see Michael Pineda 2-1 with a 1.00 ERA. Going up against John Lackey 2-2 with a 5.25. Remember, Yankees rocked Lackey a couple weeks ago at the stadium. And the other team on the other side of town, the Mets lost 3-0 last night. Adam Wainwright, solid 7 innings, 4 hits, and 3 strikeouts. He's now 4-1 for the Cardinals. They'll go back at it tonight again with Michael Waka 2-1 with a 1.73, taking on Jonathan Neese 0-2, 2.84. I'll be back on Friday with more fun. We'll be talking some more NBA playoffs as we move into Game 3s. NASCAR at Richmond Saturday night. It's going to be a good one. I'll pick my winner, as I believe I've fallen to 2-5, but we'll see if I can get back on track this week. NFL draft picks 11 through 15, and my favorite part of the week, the Major League Baseball power rankings, along with your New York sports update. Always remember to follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. That is YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the blog and drill. I will be back on Friday. Have a good rest of the week.